You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm and Jupiter. A world-class experience. Visit BremenBMW.com. And by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Out on an island with LeBron. How about D-Wade coming over? That was really set up, too. And tell him, get it out of here. And he dapped him up afterwards. Yeah.
Definitely. They've been great at home. They lost their last 2 games. They're 6-1 at home this month. Dwayne Wade with another block. That's his 4th block tonight. Good contest, man. They contest everything at the rim. They're not giving up any layups tonight.
He's won the last 13. Shaquille O'Neal was a member of the Cavs the last time they won. This is a season low in terms of points also for the Cavs. And for Miami, 7 straight home wins.
Gosh, I mean, how about that last night?
Fun.
Didn't see that because there was a lot of surprises in this game that happened last night. 98-79, the final, Heat over the Cavs. And maybe one of the bigger surprises for me was I didn't see that defensive effort coming from the Heat. I thought maybe we were going to be looking at a higher scoring game.
They played together, man.
They did. That was really amazing considering your 2 bigs are out for the Heat and they put up that effort they did. D-Wade, man, on those swats of LeBron was just classic. That was fun to watch last night. Those 2 blocks that he had, unbelievable. And it had to be frustrating for LeBron.
It was putting the biggest smile on my face last night. And I know I called LeBron
I wonder
a weasel.
why.
And because I called him a weasel last night. So this was
Yes, you
something
did.
that I love seeing as a Heat fan. That was so much fun last night.
Well, one thing that played out, we were talking about this yesterday, was looking at the Cavs road record and looking at the Heat's home record. We just said this game looked good for the Heat in that respect. A team that had lost 11 of its last 12 road games. The Heat have now won 10 of their last 11. So that was just something about it, man. The Heat are, gosh, if they could play every game at home, they'd win the NBA championship.
And how nice would that be?
Oh, in a perfect world.
And this is why I've been telling you guys for the past couple weeks, I am not afraid. Not only am I not afraid, but I want it. I want Heat Cavs in the first round. Give it to me. Give it to me. Because this is what we would see. I'm telling you, they could beat the Cavs in the first round.
Well, there's something about it. This number I did not hear. I wasn't aware of, but if you're looking at, okay, the Heat would get 3 home games. Cleveland has lost 14 consecutive games at American Airlines Arena. That's going all the way back to 2010 before LeBron even joined the Heat and then left.
This is weird.
It is weird, right?
But also, you think about how many times that LeBron sat out the games when they came down here, though.
Yeah, where he punked on it, and that might be a part of it.
So I think it's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Well, you have that, and you have, of course, like you said, there was a time when LeBron was on the Heat and the Cavs were hot garbage coming down here. And
the Cavs were pretty much hot garbage all the time once LeBron left, and before LeBron got there as well.
That's correct. So in those 2 spots in history, they were hot garbage. But I'm just saying, theoretically, if the Heat continue to beat them at home, all they need to do is win 1 game in Cleveland, and they can win in a 7-game series.
Yeah.
You guys aren't convinced.
I'm not.
Come on.
No.
Dude,
not after
you
what I
should
saw
know as a
last
Heat
night.
fan,
Yeah.
playoff LeBron is very different than regular season LeBron. Last night was a PR show and nothing else.
What I see,
because we're bringing in different stats at that point. I think here we're showing all favorable stats. When the Cavs face up against the Heat. But when you start talking, if we brought in the numbers for, like I said, those LeBron first-round NBA playoffs, it's not those aren't numbers you want to go up against.
No, you're right. You're right. But at the same time, I know because I've seen it before when he was down here, playoff basketball and playoff LeBron is very different than regular season basketball and regular season LeBron. So I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm just saying what I saw.
Yeah.
Matchup-wise, that can carry over into the playoffs. Give it to me.
Oh, okay. He's
Give it to
buying
me.
in.
All right, sir.
He's buying in.
you
I'm
guys
still
are
not
not
feeling it.
convinced.
No, I was really
You
happy
got
with
it.
last night, but yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. It was well balanced. Olynyk had 19, Johnson had 15, Richardson 15, D Wade 12, Dragic had 10. So it was spread around nicely. That is the good thing, is they were definitely playing as a cohesive team. Kevin Love left early, though, man. Did you see his tooth in that replay?
Ouch.
He looked like Tyler Johnson.
Gosh.
Yeah, really.
Tyler Johnson legitimately looks like a homeless person. What the hell is going on with that kid?
He is the ugliest guy in sports, right?
Well,
I defy you to
Do we
name
have a
me somebody
ranking on
who's-
that?
We need to get a ranking on this. We should do this. I defy you to name someone else uglier than Tyler Johnson in sports.
Oh, there went the Tyler Johnson interview later.
Yeah, I was going to say. Well, coming up next on Kevin's other show, Tyler Johnson yells at us for calling him ugly.
Coming up, the ugliest man in sports. Tyler, how do you feel about being named officially the ugliest man in sports by Kevin's other show?
Hey, we got to be known for something, right?
He's brought to you by Face Cream.
Yes.
If you look at the box score from last night's game, the one thing that really pops out to me is the assist. Cavs assist. 7 assists for LeBron. Nobody else had over 2.
Oh, geez.
You had, and a lot of them had none. There was 3 2s and 2 1s, and then 7 assists from them. The Heat, 5-2, 5-2, 3-3-4. Like they were distributing
balanced.
the ball.
They played a team game, but
yeah.
Were the Heat really seeing the true Cavs? Would the Cavs play a different style if they got into the playoffs?
LeBron played 38 minutes. It's not like he didn't play a lot, but he only 18 points.
So
that's not a normal points, but...
What are you doing? Are you starting to drink Diener's Kool-Aid?
Well, no, what I'm saying is that 38... you're getting the regular minutes that he's doing, but, I mean, obviously nobody else in that team was playing.
Yeah.
Nobody was playing 2-1. I mean, what is going on here? Pass the ball a little bit, you dopes.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it, right? I mean, are you hearing this? You're starting to agree with me.
No, I'm not
I think,
agreeing
like,
with you at all.
subconsciously, you're starting to agree with me.
I believe that you have beat regular season.
You're throwing
LeBron.
throwing out a snapshot of last night's game, and you know what? That's cute. Let's wrap it up. Let's put a bow on it, and let's call it what it was. That's not what you would see in the playoffs.
Not gonna happen.
You take a win. It was all good.
Yeah.
Looking forward for the Heat. They've got to win 2 of their final 7 games to make the playoffs. And the next 5 are all against teams that aren't going to be making the playoffs. So
you got to look at garbage time.
Yeah, garbage time. So you got to win 2 of 7. So, it's all
That's not
going
to be hard for them. They're making the playoffs.
Yeah,
doesn't make it. I 100% believe they're making the playoffs.
It's just where they end up is the question.
Yeah.
There is a possibility you don't, but it just goes to show you if they blow this, how
I may have just screwed it all up.
How monumentally they have to fail to not make the playoffs.
Well.
Yeah. Well, are you buying this? Skip Bayless talking about LeBron James coming back to Miami. Here's what he said earlier on Undisputed.
I have a source very close to Dwayne Wade and very close to Pat Riley who continues to tell me that they believe in Miami that LeBron will be very interested in going back to Miami next year and that Pat Riley has cleared the decks for it to happen. They're going to have the cap space. And my first question to my source was, wait a second, LeBron could make peace with Pat Riley because they obviously did not end well. And my source says that the peace has been made.
Okay. Anybody putting anything on this at all?
No.
Wow, you were
neither.
quick. Okay,
Well, because I just
not
don't.
either.
First of all, I don't trust Skip Bayless has
No.
any credible
thing.
sources on the entire planet.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, before his only credible source was Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith's only credible source was Skip Bayless, and that's why it worked. Now he's like, what'd you hear from Shannon Sharp having to poo it out at the end of it? I mean, there's nothing that you can be able to say that could make me believe anything that Shannon Sharp said.
It's a great storyline. It gets y'all excited in South Florida thinking about LeBron coming back, but I just don't see it happen. He's not. I mean, it's a retread.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy wants to win an NBA championship, and is this the obvious no-brainer? You're going to go to the Miami Heat and win an NBA championship next year?
You've
Who says
already
that?
done that. He's a milestone
No.
guy.
Exactly. No,
he's going to go to a team that either hasn't won a championship in a while.
He's going to go to LA.
Or I think it's either I'm not saying this is a homer, but I'm thinking either LA or the Knicks. Now those are 2 huge franchises, and bringing a Larry O'Brien trophy back to one of those arenas would be a huge. Okay, if you really want to,
Gosh,
if you
you're such a
really
homer.
want to,
You want that so
Okay,
bad.
so this is okay. So
No,
I
come
never
on,
even considered the
stop
Lakers in the
it.
first place. These are the 2 places that I would
Knicks.
say that if LeBron wants to go back to, you really want to make a name for yourself, Akron Hammer. This is what you do.
Akron Hammer?
It's one of his nicknames. Also, the Little Emperor. Very odd. Anyway, so if you want to make a name for yourself, you go back to one of the original NBA teams. That's the either Boston Celtics, which he's
why?
not going to go to because that's already been done.
He's not going to play with Kyrie
He's
again.
not going to play with Kyrie again. Or you can go and you can bring a Larry O'Brien trophy back to Madison Square Garden, the mecca of basketball.
You know more than anyone, the Knicks have been a disaster for how long now? He's not going to go
We've
back
got
there.
Porzingis. And first of all,
You said that with such zest.
yes. Well, first of all, Trey Burke. Remember Trey Burke from Michigan? Because Michigan's going to be playing. Remember Trey Burke from Michigan? He went down to the G League, or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
Came back last night,
Cute
dropped
story.
38.
Cute story. It's real cute.
I'm telling you, man, there's a team there.
It's real cute. No,
There's
he's
a
not
team
going there. He's
there.
going to L.A. He's voicing. There's a animated movie coming out. I saw yesterday. LeBron's going to be voicing that. He's going to L.A. It's going to be easier for him to work. He wants to go in the whole thing. He's going to segue into.
Actors live in New York. Maybe he wants to do Broadway.
No, Broad.
Stop. You saw the
He's
shoes,
going to go
though,
with
right?
the little emperor with no clothes.
You saw the shoes, though, right? He was wearing those South Beach Miami Heat jersey shoes during the game.
Okay, so what you're saying? This is lending back into the argument of LeBron to Miami.
I can't see him coming back to Miami. And the real problem I have with this is that I just can't believe a word Skip Bayless says because he, as well as Stephen A. Smith, is a cartoon character.
Yeah.
So I just can't believe a word he says. I can't see it happen.
It's junk food. Yeah, they throw out garbage and we eat it.
Well, this is the thing, is that because they can say whatever, and it's like, oh my God, Skip Bayless, the speculation begins.
Yeah.
Another question:
Fodder.
Do Heat fans want that to happen?
Of course they do.
Do you think so? Because I don't know if I would like it.
Yeah, no.
Champions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I take it, but there's a sense of it. Even for me, I feel like it's a retread. I mean, are you saying?
I mean, sort of, yeah. But do you want a championship?
Are you going to get it if LeBron comes back?
Most likely.
You think so?
Most likely,
You think so?
I do.
You think you got enough?
You
to
have
go,
a better. You have a better chance
enough
than
to go out west and beat Golden State if LeBron comes to Miami.
LeBron, Whiteside, Wade, Tyler Johnson. That
Are we
does
talking
it?
about Miami?
You think that beats Golden State's lineup? You think that beats Toronto?
I'm not sure. It would beat Toronto. I'm not sure it beats Golden State. I'm not
You think
sure
it beats
about that.
Houston?
I think you have a better shot without him.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's a pretty logical.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you do.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the Knicks have a lot of
You have a better
cap
shot to
space as well, so I mean, they could be able to just shelf him right in. And
You and the Knicks. This guy.
I
What
know,
are we
it was
doing with the Knicks?
bogus.
I'm just saying.
That was awful.
I'm just saying. You know?
Last night you had some star power at the game. I mean, hey, when you get LeBron and Wade together, it's going to bring out some names. Antonio Brown, AB, he's been hanging out in Miami a good little bit in the offseason. He was there last night at the game.
Regular speculation: is he being traded to the Miami Dolphins?
Stop.
He's just banging out Miami.
I have
in
a
the offseason.
source.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Skip.
What was more interesting last night is who else was hanging out in Miami, same place. The first time they hung out at a Heat game, we got one of the biggest fights ever. Are we going to have round two, and was it discussed last night? I'll let you know who else was at the Heat game coming up next.
Can't wait to break down last night's game? Yeah, not. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Well, when you get LeBron and D-Wade together again, going up against each other, it's always such a good back and forth. Last night, another classic battle. Love the outcome.
It's always fun.
Antonio Brown from the Steelers, he was hanging out last night. He wanted to see what was going on at AAA, but he wasn't the only one. A couple other powerhouse names that have apparently met at AAA before and discussed what turned into one of the larger fights that we have had in recent memory.
Oh no!
Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor last night in attendance.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
And that's according to our sources.
yeah,
Yes.
I saw photographic proof of Conor McGregor, and I said, hey, can you give me photographic proof to the person who's giving me the info? I said, my source. I said, will you get me a photo of Floyd Mayweather? Mayweather had already gone by where they were. They didn't get a shot. So I said, well, let me just see if this works out. I went to Mayweather's Twitter, and there was a photo of him on a boat with the Miami skyline that was posted yesterday. So he was out front of the arena. So he was not far. So it was not implausible that they were both there in attendance
Interesting.
last night.
Is Mayweather going to go to the Dolphins?
Oh my, this guy.
Well, the thing that I think was interesting is we've talked about, is Mayweather actually going to fight McGregor in MMA, and what are his chances of fighting? And
Slim to none.
we've talked to some people saying, yes, slim to none. If he actually went over to MMA, he would fare a lot worse than Conor McGregor, a guy who actually, I was talking to somebody the other day, said, McGregor actually started in boxing. He was more familiar with boxing. Mayweather would be lost, would get destroyed. He would need to do a couple fights leading up to that. I'm like, why would Mayweather jump to MMA and fight a bunch of junk matches? He wants to go right for the payday. I mean, this is a guy that, why else would he mess with it? I get to feel Mayweather and McGregor, even though they come off, they know they play, they trash talk each other so well, and they know that's a big part of it. But if you knew that they were in cahoots and they're sitting there conspiring, working on how they can get back to that massive payday again and cut right to the chase, Does this feel like an actual fight that you want to see, or does it start to feel like they're actually just rigging up an MMA match?
I think it starts to feel like Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, and I wonder if that is what is going on here with them meeting, because shortly after they were at AAA last time, we get the announcement of the first fight. Are we now soon hereafter going to get an announcement of another one, and is that what they came to an agreement on last night at the arena?
Do you care? Like, do you care for this match if it happens? Like,
in the Octagon?
Yeah.
Absolutely, because it means that Mayweather's going to get his face bashed in, which is what a lot of people want to see.
But I understand that, but it's just like, what are the odds of that actually going down? Like, their weight classes are so different. The experience is very different. But going from MMA to boxing is a little bit different because, I mean, one, you're using your hands only. This is like a full body sport.
If we're talking about the three, what is it? Because we've seen this a lot. We've seen the bouncing around of MMA into WWE, and I mean WWE.
Oh,
is
that's
going to
be a factor at some point in time.
That's so easy to seg into that. And is MMA the toughest, boxing is the second, and then WWE is the third. If we're talking about what's the easiest to jump from one to the other, because that's what we're starting to see now as a dance. You're seeing the WWE guys jumping into MMA and back and forth.
Right.
And now we're seeing with McGregor going into boxing that this is kind of a three-ring circus that happens now. So where do you stand the best chances if you're dancing around the three? WWE is your easiest, right? You go in there, you read your script, you're all good.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you're looking at as easiest. Is the easiest on your body?
Well, you look
because
right
boxing,
now,
I believe, would be the easiest on your body.
Really?
Because you're, I mean, for
interesting.
the most part, you're taking like torso shots, head shots. I mean, yes, I can understand, but there's so many factors when it comes to WWE. Even though it is, I mean, spoiler alert, it's
probably,
fake.
Probably worse on your back, right?
Well, it's pretty
Spine.
bad for you. I mean,
Yeah.
but MMA is also pretty bad too. But but WWE is a little controlled. I think it's a tougher argument to try and decipher whether it's tougher to be in WWE or MMA. Boxing, I don't think compares.
Anyone can go into WWE. You got Ronda Rousey, who's now fallen back into WWE.
But she did.
Who else? I mean, you look at the WWE Hall of Fame.
Right.
I mean, don't you have? Oh, what is his name? He's married to Courtney Cox. David Arquette. Isn't he in the WWE Hall of Fame? Hasn't he actually been in a match before?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was involved a little bit back in the day.
There's your argument.
The
David
ICP did
if David
it,
Arquette can do WWE, without a doubt, that's your
Donald
bottom feeder.
Trump isn't he
Right,
in
he
the
is.
Hall
He's
of
in the
Fame
Hall
for
of Fame.
WWE?
Yeah, so I mean, there's no argument on that.
But if you want to be like a serious wrestler, I mean, if you want to be a joke, that's one thing. But if you want to be a serious wrestler, then I think I think it's a good conversation to find out what's harder on you, MMA or WWE. I don't think boxing compares. If you want to be a serious wrestler, though.
So we would love to see that fight. I mean, to answer your question, yeah, I would love to see Mayweather in the octagon.
Right.
But the question is it almost going to be in the octagon with a WWE type script?
And it just kind of
if these
feels
two
that
guys
way.
are buzzed, yeah, and
That's
that's the thing you're wondering, saying, hey, I know you would crush me. This is Mayweather to Conor McGregor. I know you would crush me. So here's what we got to do. We're going to come out. You're going to hit me here. This is going to happen. Let's make it look good, because if we could get even a rematch, and I don't know, like I said, what is the third thing? They're deep sea fishing, whatever they do for their third, rubber match. He's like, yes, you beat me, but it's still.
We're going down to Boca to play shuffleboard.
It's got to look good, because they would say, look, imagine if we get a third time at this.
Yeah.
The second one's going to make a ton of money. If it's close, you're going to have a third payday and be like, going, dude, this is beyond
theatrics.
retirement.
Yeah.
This is something that I remember reading actually before the boxing match. What was it, last year when they fought, right? It was a great article, and it talked about how it could be fixed only for the aspect of the money, because when you looked at it and you said, okay, Mayweather's going to win this first match, which he did.
Yeah.
And if you decide to have a rematch, whether in the boxing ring or the octagon, which is that's what's being talked about now, and then a rubber match, which you would have to have.
Yep.
Each fighter can make close to $1 billion. Mayweather would make $1 billion with 3 fights.
And this is what you're talking about now. So are we gonna keep buying into this if you're knowing that these guys? Hey, you see him again at AAA, you know a third fight's coming.
Yes.
They meet at AAA, they work out the details, and then they have their PR people take it, and then they smack talk each other. We love it. We buy into it. We do the pay-per-views. They make a ton of money, and they come back for another one.
And that's how the first one happened.
No,
that's
I
how
get that.
The idea came about when they were at the Heat game, like you said.
Yeah.
And they
So
said,
did it happen
you know
again
what?
last night? Yeah.
Maybe it happened again. Is this the second time it's happening?
This is the thing, is that when you looked at boxing, you went, okay, this is somewhat formidable because Mayweather's a great boxer. McGregor used to be a boxer, so it kind of makes sense. And they trained in a certain way, but MMA is like such a different animal, and I don't think.
Yeah.
And we talked to Brendan Schaub,
it is
and
a
he
different.
said, and he goes, "There's no way they're not even close in
different
Fight
animal
Club."
unless you scripted it
Yes.
out.
Well, I mean, yes, but
And that's how this is going to work.
But that's
it's
such-
because
yeah,
they're going
but
to script
I'm not
it out.
interested in that though.
I know, but that's the thing. That's why last night, if that happened, no one's going to be interested in this. If somebody
Well,
blows
yeah.
the lid off this,
Yeah.
and this is lies, and this is a script that they were working out last night
What
at
they
American Airlines
should have
Arena.
done is they should have went to a Marlins game because nobody would have seen them.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Gosh, that's a great point. I hope we have enough time in the show to get to the Marlins starting rotation because it's hysterical.
It's incredible.
Oh, my gosh. I can't even pronounce the names.
What order are you batting?
It might as well.
You show up, you might get to play.
If we don't, though, it is on our website, 640thehurricane.com, under Kevin's other show page. I posted it on there. You can check it out if we
Yeah.
don't get to it because it's just amazing.
I hope we do. I want to drop this in real quick. Talking Ronda Rousey. She was all over ESPN yesterday for one awkward interview after another. The one with Kellerman's
pretty
long
bad
and
at it,
drawn
huh?
out. Yeah, he was kind of trying to go after her about when did you know it was time to get over to WWE because you realized that MMA, that the game was up, that finally some really badass chicks were getting in and you got in early and that's why you look so awesome. And then when the real flood of women came in, you said, oop, too much for me. That's what she tried to get to, and she was defensive in that. The one that happened with Golic was fun because
Fantastic.
somehow
So
this
good.
gets turned into, he's like, if you could turn back time, and then it gets
If I can turn back time.
into a misstep by Golic, and then all of a sudden it turns into time travel.
Let's go back and start with when you knew from the MMA when you were done there, when you knew in your mind, I'm not going to fight anymore.
I never said that.
So there is a possibility that you.
I like it. We
Got you
have
there, Miss
here.
Rousey.
I never said that.
So there is a possibility that you could go back in time.
There it is. There's
You
the
could
misstep.
go back in time?
Why is he stumbling so much and asking this question too?
I don't know. It came out awkward. It came out weird. And, she probably could have I think it had to do with that she was like, all right, I'm not going to deal with this guy. So I think she purposely is being a little bit difficult here, but here's how she handled it.
There's a possibility that I could go back in time. That's your question to me?
Go back in time and fight. Go back in the octagon.
I do not have the ability to go back in time, no.
She's not helping him.
My favorite part is the fact that Trey Wingo is literally sitting right next to him and doing nothing.
He ain't helping.
He's just sitting there and watching Golic drown.
You just excuse yourself at that point. Be like,
Yeah.
It's so good.
It was like a revelation. We've
Oh
got
my
something
God.
here. Yes.
I've cracked the code. She does not time travel. Call Skip Bayless's source.
that's it.
Coming up here in a couple minutes, thought Mel Kiper's latest draft board was something interesting to pay attention to. That was interesting to me. Also, Tim Tebow playing quarterback for Steve Spurrier in professional football is interesting to me as well. And it's going to happen in Florida. I'll tell you how coming up next.
Yep, he's here too. It's Kevin's Other Show, right here on 640 The Hurricane.
Coming up in a second, Tim Tebow back to professional football, playing in Florida for Steve Spurrier.
I'm intrigued.
I hear nothing about this.
That's one of the best top 25 songs of all time, though, right? I mean, just
Did he say, I saw her rectum and wanted to paint it black?
no. Come on, man. Well,
I'm
look,
like,
it was Mick
I
Jagger in
want
the
to
60s.
paint
Yeah,
it
it's like,
black.
I see her rectum and I want to paint it black.
Anything's possible. This is Jagger in the 60s.
It was, yeah, I mean.
I don't know that that'd be the
ugh.
color you choose, though.
That's
Honestly.
why. It's
yes. Anal
maybe like
bleaching goes the
red
other
or-
way.
I don't really-
Typically, you want to go a bit lighter than you do darker.
Something. I mean,
I love you, honey, but your rectum is not dark enough for me.
We need to paint that rectum black.
Now you just ruined the song for me. Thank you.
Mel Kiper has come out with his latest draft board. There's a couple things that got my attention that I thought was interesting. One is who he thinks the Browns now are going to choose at number 1.
Ooh.
Josh Allen, not Sam Darnold.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think it was a kind of a toss-up between the two of them, honestly.
Yeah, I think it could go either way. Josh Allen has, looked good. I think some people are thinking, okay, yeah.
They've been very high on him since a couple days ago.
Yeah, I know. He's really...
Sam Darnold was, really big going into it. Then after Josh Allen's combine, it was like, oh, wow.
I don't know if it's, Sam Darnold, the way he throws. I know there's been some questions about his throwing motion a little bit. Mm-hmm. He had that pro day, which seemed to go well for him at USC.
Pro days usually don't go bad.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You and I could stage a good-looking pro day.
That's what we should do next
year.
So we're going to have our own pro days and see if anybody comes out to see us.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that.
It's a fix. So, yeah, not shocking, but that's kind of a toss-up. That could go either way. I don't think a lot of people are going to be really surprised by that. Josh Allen, Sam Darnold's what Mel Kiper's got now. He's got Josh Rosen going 3rd pick to your Jets over there, Ricky Bobby.
How did that happen?
I don't know. But it's weird because I saw an article of Todd Bowles saying that he loves Baker Mayfield. I'm confused.
I read that article, and I'm not so sure. I think they were grasping at straws there. He didn't say anything interesting.
No, I think
Todd Bowles is a little bit touched. So
I think a lot of this stuff, again, I think you're going to see planted misinformation.
So much.
Everyone is involved, top to bottom. The coaches are doing it, and they're just trying to throw everybody off the scent. This is what happens now.
They all have sources.
So he's got Allen 1.
He's got Allen 1, Darnold 2, Josh Rosen to the Jets at 3, Saquon Barkley to Cleveland at 4, Baker Mayfield to Denver at 5. So he's got the top 4 quarterbacks going in 5 picks, according to Mel Kiper's latest draft board.
I think Mel Kiper's hair dye is starting to leak into his brain.
Well, that's what got my attention. I'm like, okay, what?
What are you doing here, sir?
What now? Because, I mean, just a couple days ago, I'm looking at Baker Mayfield or maybe even Josh Rosen going as low as 15th. And now he's got the 4 top quarterbacks going in the top 5 picks.
There's so much misinformation. You know what? It's so bad for us because there's so much smoke screen and so many lies going around, and that's all we have to go off of. And we're just
it shows you how much this draft is getting turned upside down and the misinformation that happens. He's now got Lamar Jackson jumping all the way up into the 1st round, going with 15th pick to Arizona.
Oh,
yeah.
Where's all this coming from? How does all this literally change overnight?
Mel Kiper's losing it.
This is what throws it all off. So if you're the Dolphins sitting at 11 and you're like, okay, well, we're thinking, what are we going to do here? Are we going to go defensive tackle with our 1st pick and try to get the brilliant idea of Mason Rudolph in the 2nd round that Ricky Bobby brought up yesterday?
Not a bad idea.
But it affects how the Dolphins feel going into this, trying to think of what's going on. What are they going to do? Stephen Ross, is he even buying into Tannehill? Here he is talking a little bit about him from the pro days, the owners' meetings.
Well, certainly, I really believe in Ryan like probably nobody else. Well, hopefully they do. They have the same belief, but I think he can be outstanding, and I think we haven't seen the best of Ryan Tannehill yet. And I look forward to really seeing what Ryan can really perform.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, you haven't, huh? You haven't seen the best.
Why?
We don't think we've gotten there. We haven't got a chance to really see him yet.
Mm-hmm. Why are we still doing this? And why does Stephen Ross believe he's the one who believes him the most out of anybody? What is that?
Because he's the one cutting the check. That's why. That's why he believes in him the most. Is like the amount of money I've given to this SOB. Well, better believe in him.
Tannehill's cleared. He's going to be in the OTAs, and Stephen Ross says that he expects about $7 million in cap space to be left after signing all the draftees from 2018. So that's what they're looking to work with at the end of it all.
How much more time are the Dolphins going to waste? 6 years. We're going on 6 years of Ryan Tannehill. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's something you only do with a franchise quarterback, and we're still experimenting with this guy.
Well,
I got it, man.
He might be your franchise quarterback.
Yeah. Let's talk about something more fun here.
What's more fun than bashing the Dolphins?
It gets me so riled up, too.
Tebow playing professional football for Steve Spurrier in Florida.
That's it.
Yep,
that's the
more
one.
fun. Mm-hmm.
It's possible, and here's how. This makes actually a ton of sense.
Oh, boy.
The just-announced Alliance of American Football has contacted 72-year-old Steve Spurrier about coaching one of their new teams, possibly in Orlando, and they threw out the suggestion of, what if we went after Tim Tebow to be your quarterback. Now, we'd already talked about the Alliance of American Football, and they're saying there's so many guys that aren't making it in the NFL. You can still have an exciting brand of football with the castaways, and that's what they know they're going to get.
Yep.
You would have your Johnny Manziels. You'd have these guys, instead of shipping them off to the CFL, keep them here in America. We wouldn't play as long of a season. That's what Spurrier loves. I mean, he's not retired. He's just
got to get my golfing in.
Resting a little bit. He's got to do his golfing. And, you wouldn't have that same kind of grind. You're looking at maybe 4 to 5 month commitment instead of your 7 to 8 or longer.
What is this, summer camp?
It really is. It's like a football summer camp. And Spurrier is on record saying, I do have an interest. He's into this. He says, look, I think they've got the funds. I think they got the people that are connected. They've got Charlie Ebersol in this, Bill Polian. I think that considering the fact they've already got a CBS TV contract, he likes the time frame on it as well, and he loves the idea of bringing in Tim Tebow as his QB.
I like this.
It would be fun, wouldn't it?
This
I mean,
is fun.
off-season football, seeing the old ball coach, the visor back out of retirement, on the sideline with Tebow out there slinging the rock around instead of this silly baseball experiment he's got going on. That's some cool stuff, isn't it?
Come on, Ricky, get excited about this. No? This doesn't move you?
I could honestly care less.
Wow.
I just don't think it's like, okay, first of all, now you're going to give me summer camp football. Then you're going to give me a 75-year-old coach. And
72.
72?
You're going to give me a 72,000-year-old coach. And then you're going to give me Tim Tebow, who obviously cannot play football.
You're not buying this?
No.
He plays well enough.
Oh,
Tell me people wouldn't come out like crazy to see Tebow play.
I don't watch football for well enough. Dude. I'm not a Dolphin fan.
No, don't do this because you just said yesterday, we're both going to call you out, that football is about storylines. You're telling me this is a storyline?
I said that it is about storylines. It doesn't mean that I said that I watch it for storylines.
Give you the stink eye.
This is so good. And they're going to have a head start, too, because the XFL not kicking off till 2020. They expect to get this thing going a lot quicker. And so they might get the head start. They might get the fan attention that they need. And
Tebow's not going to get called up?
He would be great. This would be great. You talk about a storyline in Florida. How many people? I mean, you're going to get the Jacksonville crowd, Orlando crowd.
Oh, yeah, if you go to Orlando, yeah, it's big.
It would be huge.
It is big for the storyline.
Okay, what are you buying? That story, or are you buying Gronk's comedy? Somebody let me know that, Gronkowski.
Yeah, I think this is exploitation of a mentally handicapped person.
Someone should get in trouble for this?
Yes, someone.
Yeah, we'll cover Gronkowski doing some stand-up comedy, and you can let us know what is worse, that or the Marlins starting rotation. We'll discuss coming up next.
Think Loria did a bad job? Wait till you hear this crap. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Ricky Bobby's getting married.
I'm like, what the hell metal song is this?
Yeah.
I caught you off guard with that one, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit.
Going to the chapel, and Ricky Bobby going to be out the rest of the week. He got to go get all married up.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do.
I'll survive. I will be back.
Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, I will make my triumphant return with a ball and chain.
Is there like a honeymoon happening in between here, or like?
No. You know how much a wedding costs?
Yeah, I do.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You'd be lucky if I make it to have enough gas to make it back to work on Tuesday.
I understand. You're taking her name, right? That's how it's working?
Yeah, I'm taking her name.
Okay,
Yeah, okay,
sure.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to make the transition over the weekend. That's the reason why I'm taking off Monday. It has nothing to do with Easter.
I knew it had something to do with it.
Stupid.
I just don't understand why we let him talk so much.
And just think about it. You're not going to be here the next few days, too.
I know, right?
I know. The intellectual level of the show will drop dramatically. And not many conspiracy theories, which I'm gonna call in with my own conspiracy theories while you're doing the show anyway.
Yeah, please do.
When I think of some stuff down at my wedding.
We tomorrow are going to be getting ready for opening day. We're going to be on from 2 to about 3:20, taking you up to the Yankees.
It's dope.
Which,
I'm going to be right down there, too. I'm going to be in Coral Gables.
No doubt.
Right down the street from there.
Okay.
Ask me if I'm going.
Are you going?
Hell no.
People are going to go to the opener, I think, because you got Jason Derulo doing the anthem, and you have got DJ Khaled going to be there.
They're going to perform that song live?
They are.
The new anthem, yeah.
They're doing the new Marlins anthem.
Be so bad. Oh, so bad.
You have to go now. You have to go to that game. You're going to be there. You have to go get us some sound. It's for the show.
Huh?
It's good for the show. You have to go and get the sound of DJ Khaled performing that.
You think opening attendance over under 22,000? Opening
over
day for
under
Marlins.
20 under dramatically.
You're going dramatically?
Dramatically under, and majority Cubs fans. I think there's going to be a protest.
I think it's going to be over 22 because of the Cubs.
That's what, it's a tough number because of the Cubs.
Well, how
If
much
this
are the
was
tickets?
Marlins,
Though? How much are the tickets? Because when the past couple
Can't be that
seasons,
much.
as I'm saying, the past couple seasons, it's like, what do you want to do tonight, honey? You want to go to Carrabba's, or you want to go to a movie, or how about a Marlins game? It's much cheaper than both.
It's true.
Yeah.
If the Marlins were opening up against like the Reds or the Pirates, I would say well under 22,000, but it's the Cubs.
22. Yeah, at least. That's the. I'm going 22 and change.
Oh, so you're
just
right
going
there.
over. Yeah, right over. In fact, it's almost a push. I think it's right about 22.
18-5.
Mattingly still hasn't submitted his starting roster for opening day.
What the hell is he waiting for?
Too embarrassed.
I don't think he can spell the names. He came out with his
Like,
starting
what are these hockey
rotation.
players? What's going on here?
Third in the Marlins rotation is Adrisamar Despegni.
Oh, good for you.
I don't even know. I don't even know who that is. I'll give you $100 right now for your honeymoon if you can spell that correctly.
What is he? Is he
Don't look it up.
Pakistani or something?
I don't
what the
even
hell
know.
is that?
I don't know.
There
I don't know.
is a wonderful Pakistani farm league. so you never know.
ODRISAMER, last name DESPAIGNE.
What if somebody just
and
I
that's
feel
your
like there's
third
not
in
enough
rotation.
H's in that.
Oh my gosh. And then that's rounded out by fourth is Dylan Peters and then Jarlin Garcia, fifth in the rotation.
Those are actual names.
Yeah, those are actual names. That's your 3, 4, and 5 in the Marlins starting rotation. You got
Dylan
Jose
Peters.
Urena, that's
That's their ace.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you got one. That's it. And then the rest of the games, forget about it.
No, but Jose
Pound
Arena
town,
is
baby.
he's the ace of this rotation.
He is.
Yikes.
He's
yeah,
the
that's
ace.
not good.
That's
I
the
feel
best
like
you got.
I feel like someone just took like a keyboard in front of them and just hit a bunch of letters, and that's how we got those names.
Yeah, what is it? Uja Buja Hamamama? Is he a rookie or something?
They'll trade for him. Yeah.
They probably did trade for him. Mm-hmm. That's where Billy the Marlin went.
Yes.
I got a solution for the Marlins, though. What they need to do is drop down and play in the ACC because they would kick ass. They beat the Hurricanes 22-2 yesterday.
I really wanted the Hurricanes baseball team to beat them so bad.
The Hurricanes are, unfortunately, they're bad this year. The Hurricanes are, I think, have a losing
They're also
record.
playing against a professional.
I know, but they're just
bit
for
different,
comparatively to your regular Hurricanes team. Yeah, a quality Hurricanes team might have taken them down, but yeah, I think the last I
It
saw,
would have been amazing.
yeah, the Hurricanes I think were 5-9, and they've already dropped 2 to FAU this year. So yeah, it's not the same Hurricanes team. 22-2. It's like really you can't like lay off. I mean, I know you've got guys you could put in that are not going to pound them 22-2. Come on, man.
Yeah, man, they're bitter.
Mattingly's taking his wins wherever he can get them. He's like, come on,
Exactly.
man. What do you expect
Look
me
at
to
that,
do?
22-2. See that record? Who are you playing? Well, it doesn't matter.
Get them
Yeah.
all you can, man. Get them all you can.
The Yankees had a pretty cool concept that just already got shut down by MLB. They were going to be serving up beers where you could get the players' faces in the foam.
Oh.
But I didn't realize this, and they didn't either, that apparently that violates a rule that they've got about using ball players to market booze.
Whoops.
Well, also, nobody knows what they look like. So that might be tough for the guys
they-
actually doing it.
Yeah.
They're like, who the hell is that? I'd be like, honestly, I have no clue, but here's your
no idea.
face.
It was kind of cool though. Like if you look up pictures on this, and they, I don't even know how they do this. I mean, you look in the beer, and it's Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Inside your beer.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is. It was pretty cool. Yeah. The Yankees actually had that clever idea, not the Marlins. The
Oh,
Marlins
my
were
bad.
worried
No,
about
it's the
something else,
Yankees.
This is so much I pay attention. I apologize.
Hey.
I'm trying to keep. Listen, I'm trying to make sure that you know this is the last segment of the show. So
It's fair.
that's basically it.
So I got to get some good audio here. One is Gronkowski doing stand-up.
Just fair warning, I had to bleep some of this out. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah,
it's out of control. What was this from? Because you had the email. I hand you off the email. Somebody said, "Hey, if you haven't checked this out yet, you got to hear this."
This is a real thing, just like the Marlins pitching staff. This is a real thing. It's not a joke. It's a new show coming up on Showtime, or a special of Gronkowski comedy special.
Yeah. Okay. Here he is
Yeah.
joking about Tom Brady.
You know, I had another crazy request one time. Hey, Gronk, you know, I know you don't know me that well, but can you please bring me to Tom's mansion? I haven't even been there. It's been 7 years since I've known that guy. 7 years. Without me, he would have 0 Super Bowl rings. I don't know how that's possible. I didn't know him after his first 3, but he would have 0.
I just don't.
You hear the smattering of applause. It's just, what are we doing?
Is he also chugging beers and like ripping his shirt off at the same? Like, I don't understand.
you got to play
This
the
is
other
not,
one.
Is this not horrible?
No, it's terrible.
It's pretty bad. In fact, that's just a tease because I got more audio on that coming up tomorrow. Run out of time.
I want to give me more.
One other thing I want to throw out real quick before we get out of here is Stoneman Douglas hockey. I didn't realize this the other night when they're at the Minnesota Wild game and they're kind of like doing the opening. The kid screwed up a little bit and dropped an S-bomb in front of the whole arena.
Nice.
All right, Wild fans, this is our ice. Take.
Oh, S-bomb.
You messed up. You messed up. You
Nice try.
Pretty audible for the whole
Play
arena.
hockey.
There he goes.
It's hockey. What the heck, man? They're all into it. All right. Well, hey, you can check it out. Just go on to YouTube, put in Kevin's Other Show, podcast as well. Kevin's Other Show. You can listen to us anytime on demand. And then tomorrow, make sure you get us live. Going to be on 2 p.m. at 6:40 a.m. The Hurricane.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.